Yeah, thank you so much for taking the time. Great appearance in that movie, let me say that. And how amazing was it for you playing this iconic role, this Lisbeth Salander role?
I always loved the character from the books. I always thought she was extraordinary and really unique. And yeah, it was a kind of something that I was really kind of moved to play. That I really wanted to kind of get to know her more in that way.
And she's a really, really tough girl. So how tough are you in real life?
I mean, you're going to have to give me some sort of level of toughness. I don't know. Pretty tough.
And I think she's a better James Bond because if I look at the look of the movie and the soundtrack and so on, it could be a female James Bond, for example. So what did you think? Would you see that in the same way? Because she tries to save the world in some way. It's a revenge story, okay, but at the end she saves the world by deleting the program.
I think that Lisbeth represents something which is very, very truthful and real, and I think James Bond is also a really iconic character, but she's not. Lisbeth doesn't need to be James Bond. She's Lisbeth Salander, and she's got her own objective and her own way of living.
You shot also in Berlin. Some memories from the time in Berlin?
I have so many memories. I was here for 3.5 months, and I loved living here. Yeah, I lived in Prenzlauer Berg. I loved it. I think it's a great city and great people.
Did you have maybe some nice other things that you have tasted here? Maybe some good German food or the good German beer?
I had a lot of Italian food, which obviously is not particularly German, but the Golden Hind in Kreuzberg was like my favourite place to go. I absolutely loved it. And it's just an amazing city to walk around, and I did a lot of that.
You have many physical scenes, so what was the hardest scene for you to shoot?
I think it was in the endurance of the whole movie, really. I think we were shooting in pretty extreme locations. There was very rarely any green screen in the movie, so the landscapes were true. It was very, very cold, and having to physically do kind of stunts and run and things like that in that sort of temperature is pretty difficult. But it was a challenge, but I loved it, and so yeah, the action sequences and things like that just required that little bit more kind of energy.
And the scene in that latex bag, was it all you or was it just you at the end?
It was just me at the end.
What kind of feeling was it? Because it's just at the end, but it looks very. I couldn't do that because I would get claustrophobic in some time or anything else. So how was it for you shooting that?
Horrific.
Okay. And maybe you have a fun day on set. Do you have maybe some nice set memory from behind the scenes? Maybe some weird things happen, some funny things during the production?
It was a really great shoot. It was really lovely, but I can't really boil it down to one exact memory or experience.
Would you play Lisbeth Salander again?
I think there's so much about Lisbeth that we don't know, and that the depths of the character are so extreme that I just think there's an infinite possibility with that character.
Thank you so much.